Okay, so Trey Lance film study, and we're going to start off with this play just so you guys know exactly what I'm going to be talking about here. This is going to be the one game he had of 2020 because, due to COVID, he only played in one game. A lot of what people are talking about and praising him for was what he played the season before. However, notably, he had a very poor game in 2020. And so I thought it could be a fun idea to really talk about and get into what went wrong and, what are some things that we can take away from it, or is it just a fluky bad game? Because I feel like a lot of people, myself included, kind of just glossed over this game and said, okay, he had one bad game, there was weird circumstances, and the rest of his tape is good. And I think that's fair to do to some degree, but I also think we should probably look at it and see if there are any takeaways. So we'll start off with this play. It's going to be man coverage. This is actually a cover zero blitz. So they're going after Lance right here. You see the route he wants to throw to. It's a deeper route. And, if he can get the ball down there, this could work out pretty well, but of course the blitz is going to make things a little bit difficult. And watch how right when this play starts, Lance, gets the ball, throws it downfield, and is hit as he's thrown, and this ball is, not complete. It's a little bit difficult to tell, kind of a little blurry, and the ball kind of blends in with the grass, but it was a missed throw, and it was largely set up due to him getting hit as he was thrown, which is, I'm going to show it a couple times so you really see it. You could argue that he maybe should have read this a little bit quicker and thrown the ball a little bit quicker. But if he does that, then maybe the receiver he throws it to doesn't get open and it's an interception or something. That's a possibility. So it's kind of a tough situation. I think really, getting hit as you're thrown, that is part of why he missed this throw and missed some other throws. And I think that it's a real thing that he did, miss some throws in this game. In fact, his accuracy was horrible in this game. Like right here. So it's going to be a zone coverage play. The way it works is you have a receiver run over in the middle, and the corner who's quote-unquote in charge of covering sort of the corner, the offense's deep left corner of this field. So for us, that would be the zone closest to the top of the screen, further deep. He's basically going to just cover whoever the receiver he's lined up against is going to be. And since he's running over the middle and it is a play action, oftentimes this is how that player can get open. So corner's going to cheat a lot further in to try and cover that up. So then you have another receiver run like that. It's a tight end, so an eligible receiver is what I mean, who runs like that. And he's going to get into the area that will probably now be open. So that's how this whole situation works. It's a good concept. And right when this play starts, fakes the handoff. Things are going pretty well. I mean, there's a wide open tight end right there. One thing worth noting is that there is a bit of pressure for Lance, but I do feel like this is still a throw he can make and should be able to make. However, he just completely overthrows this, and it is weird because this isn't an issue he had at all up until this game, but he had it a few times in this game. There was even a YouTube comment I saw back when I was forced to, I didn't have all 22, so I was forced to just watch stuff that you can see on the broadcast footage on YouTube. There, all the full games are on there if you guys want to take a look. There's a comment on this game that I thought was funny where it said, I think I can see why he never threw an interception last year because he overthrows everybody by 15 yards, which isn't the case, but it, is funny, and it was the case in this game. There was something like this, which is a play action sort of rollout. He hits the tight end who you see the route on the screen, and watch what happens. So, Lance takes a snap, does, run the play action, everything. Under a bit of pressure again, and this might be kind of a through line through all this stuff, is when he doesn't get to just keep his feet planted and make the throw he wants to make, maybe things don't go as well. And you know what? That didn't happen much in 2019. So maybe that is a takeaway you could have and a potential concern you could have with Trey Lance. Now, fortunately for San Francisco, your system doesn't require Trey Lance to be, throwing off balance too often. So I don't think you care that much. But at the same time, it's potentially a little concerning because, he's under pressure a little bit on the move. You see where he wants to throw this football, and you're going to see him just miss this throw. I mean, that's just what it was. It was way too far to the inside. If he throws it, further towards the sideline, that's an easy completion, and he just misses the throw. So the accuracy, again, it is good when he gets his feet planted, I guess is what you can say. And I'm not even sure I'm willing to say it's bad when his feet aren't planted just yet because it's a small sample size and it didn't happen too often. That's maybe just the one slight takeaway you could come up with potentially. Like, again, I have no problem with this draft pick. I think Trey Lance is really good. There was this decision, which was just another one that was maybe a little bit concerning because you would think like, okay, maybe this could be an example of what if things go wrong, where it's going to be zone coverage. You have a play action, and you have a receiver who's going to run a go route, and watch what happens. So, Lance is going to fake the handoff right here, and, if Lance wants to make this throw, he needs to be in the throwing motion now, quite frankly, to be making it, and he needs to sort of throw it to the back shoulder, and he needs to get it there in a hurry. To me personally, I think that this is not a smart decision. I mean, you see the safety, he's cheating over already, and I think this is where Lance wanted to go through pre-snap. And if we're being honest, everyone talks about, Justin Fields, a one-read quarterback. Well, there's a lot of college one-read quarterbacks. And in fact, that's usually a huge thing you have to do to improve going into your first year as a pro is, get past that first read. So, you can make that criticism for guys like Mac Jones, for guys like Justin Fields, for guys like Trey Lance, even for guys like, Trevor Lawrence. I would say that it's a real issue that they've had at times. It's maybe something he shouldn't make. And finally, something like this, the one thing that is always the case in every Trey Lance game is he's a very good runner. This one is no exception. This is going to be a quarterback run play. And watch how right when this play starts, the thing about Lance is he doesn't necessarily accelerate particularly amazingly well. It's not awful, but that's not really what makes him a good runner. There's multiple defensive players right now who can run over and make a tackle, not from Trey Lance's fault, but just how it happened. But this is where you're really going to see Trey Lance's running ability shine. Watch him just run through both of them, and then he's going to be able to, be fast enough to get that stiff arm and get all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. So Trey Lance is a great runner, and that's something that I do think potentially is another aspect to drafting him, is that even when things are going poorly, well, you can, have him run with the football, and we know how Kyle Shanahan loves to scheme up running plays, so that could be another factor. So it's a very interesting draft selection, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it plays out because I think it could be very good. Going back to just this game, it wasn't a great game. Like, there's no getting around it. It was not a good game from Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance would admit this is not his best day. He had some uncharacteristically, bad mistakes, which, again, usually he's a pretty smart player, so he's great pre-snap, and I don't know how much of that is him or the offense, but usually he seems to be pretty smart. Did have a bad one in this one, did miss some throws, and I do wonder if it was just he hadn't played football in a bit and was rusty. It simply could be that simple, so I don't know. Again, don't judge his whole career off of this one game. You can't do that. You have to watch the 2019 tape, which I have, and it's a lot more impressive. But I also think it's, there's stuff to look at here, stuff to learn from here, and stuff to take into consideration. I do think that it's important to watch even the bad games and not just say, there was a weird situation around it, so I'm not going to take it into account. You can kind of take it into account. You kind of can. But, there's a difference between reacting to it and overreacting to it. And I think, I think what we're doing here is reacting to it. So, yeah, just thought it would be kind of a fun idea to go do this. Might do it with some other stuff. Who knows? But, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.